The following program is sponsored by the Medicine Center Pharmacies.
Good morning and welcome to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy, a local Health Mart pharmacy. I'm your pharmacist, Paul White. We're glad you joined us. Before we begin, I'd like to thank today's sponsors, Studio Arts and Glass, Kiko Auctioneers and Realtors, and of course today our technical producer, J.D. DeAngelis. In the studio with me is Brad White, a compounding pharmacist, and our very special guest from Aultman Health Foundation, Liz Edmonds, Doctor of Nursing Practice and Executive Director of Population Health, and Kevin Pete, Chief Strategy Officer. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning.
All right, a lot is happening in the City of Canton, and it's great news for local residents. Local businesses, and anyone who has an interest in living or traveling to our great city. So, the City of Canton has put together a plan and identified what they call the asset areas of Canton. Among these are the assets of Aultman Hospital area, the Hall of Fame Village, Mercy Medical Center, Timken, and the Shorb neighborhoods. These are areas that are home to major employers or critical gateways that support Canton's economic vibrancy. With all of this attention, the Stark County Community Foundation and others, including the Aultman Health Foundation, began developing an initiative to revitalize these neighborhoods and provide safe, affordable housing. Today we're talking specifically about the Aultman campus transformation and the progress happening now and the future plans for the local neighborhood. We'd like to remind our listeners today that our program is also available on a podcast on your favorite smartphone from the App Store. You can look for Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy, and you can listen to any of our programs anytime, anywhere. If you have questions you'd like addressed today, you can post them up on our live Facebook feed, or you can give us a call here at the radio station at 330-450-1480.
So, Liz and Kevin, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves and your roles at Aultman Health Foundation? Liz, you got to go first because you got the longest title.
Okay. Well, professionally, I've spent most of my entire nursing career at Aultman. I started in emergency trauma, and it evolved to clinical nursing leadership. Currently, I'm responsible for population health, community engagement, and population health is really a focus on health prevention and promotion. It addresses some of the social determinants.
Okay. Excellent.
Hey, Paul. My name's Kevin Pete.
Kevin worked for us a long time ago. Everybody on the air probably knows that they remember him because they still ask for him down in Minerva.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so.
We had a great team back then, and I think it was about 10 years, Paul, that I did my internship with you and worked for you and opened the Minerva store and worked together down there.
That's right. 26 years we've been down there.
That's right.
Isn't that nuts?
It's a great community.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But yeah, my background went to Perry High School. I got my pharmacy degree from Ohio State. And
the Ohio State University.
And after graduated, went and worked with you, Paul, obviously, and stayed in retail pharmacy for about 15 years. And then from there, actually worked for Rick Haynes hired me over in All Care, and I served as an executive over there for 10 years and worked in a lot of different areas, learned a lot of different things. And then from there, the last 6 years, I've been working corporately for the Aultman Health Foundation, the parent company, and really focused on strategy and new relationships and opportunities within the community. So thanks for having us today.
Oh, you're welcome. Well, this is an interesting thing to us, particularly the development around it. Because we have so much property right there in that, in that pocket. So some people think we're still in the funeral business, but since we purchased Welsh Care's funeral home, but once in a while somebody comes to the door with flowers. True story. So anyway, why is the health system concerned about people living in the surrounding neighborhood?
Right. I think that's a great question, Paul. And as we think about it, I always ask the question when we think about why we do what we do is why are we doing it? And it really goes back to our mission, leading our community improved health. And the way that we do that is really through our portfolio companies. We have All Care, the leading health plan in the market. You have the Aultman Hospital and the healthcare delivery system and all the wonderful things that they do. And then we have the Aultman College. And so we think of those as our core companies, but from there, then we have this arm that's focused on the community, and we have, Vicki Haynes leads up that area for us, and in that community, the relationships there, we're working with the government, we're working with churches, we're working with schools, we're working with local businesses, And then from there, kind of from that bracket, it kind of takes us into the neighborhoods. And it's just very important to us to have a vibrant neighborhood around us and creating an area that where we're integrated and weaved into the network. Not that we're just kind of sitting there and there's fences around us. We want to be weaved into the network.
So we got a name here for this project. It's called the Aultman. It's called the Neighborhood Revitalization Plan. What's it about?
So it's really a multifaceted approach, the way we're approaching this, and it kind of goes back to this theme of live, work, and play. And so the revitalization program has two core components. One is the campus, and what are the things that we can do structurally with the campus and the way the campus looks as far as the buildings that are on there, number one, and then secondly, the green space that's there. And what we can do for both people that are coming to the campus, that live around the campus, and our employees. And then secondly, it's about the neighborhood. And how can we, again, work with the neighborhood to improve the housing and the stock of the housing that's there, and to help people, rent or to buy and get them, programs that are available in the community in order to be able to do that.
Do you have specific plans that affect the neighborhoods in particular, in addition to that?
Sure. I mean, we're looking at improving the image of the neighborhood. We realize that there's a lot of things that affect neighborhoods and where you grow up and where you're born. A lot of the social, economic, physical environment, such as vacant homes, vacant lots, types of businesses, your access to healthy food, crime, safety in the neighborhood. A lot of the studies have been linked to life expectancy. I think there was an article in the paper just this week in regards to that, and your overall general health status, disability, birth outcomes, chronic disease. You want to look at a neighborhood, and, for example, does it promote exercise and healthy living? Are the sidewalks safe? Is it safe to be outside? Do you see a lot of cycling? And so forth. Are people motivated to be out because they feel safe? And once they feel safe, then they're engaging with others and they take pride in their neighborhood. Poor housing conditions actually, structurally can lead to injury. Also, affordable housing, safe affordable housing. If you don't have that, you're stressed. There's a lot of anxiety. People may team up and live together. Then you have overcrowding. Which also causes a lot of different various illnesses and so forth. So knowing the fact that the neighborhood influences your overall health, that's why we have actually are extending our reach outside the walls of the hospital. We've realized that the individual health is made up more of just episodic care where we deliver, care on a daily basis to the ill and injured.
Yeah, I would just add to that, to Liz's last point, when you look at the illnesses and the diseases that people have, and I know you guys know this, but just for the general public, over 60% of the illnesses that we have are due to things that we can control, whether it's diet, exercise, where we live, social determinants, and all those things. So to Liz's point, we're really trying to, we can do the great clinical care that we do. It is how can we expand that reach into those other areas of social determinants that we can help people be healthier so that they don't need to come in for specific services. But if they do need them, we want to be there to take care of them.
It's also to prevent chronic diseases. So if people are healthier and that we're promoting prevention of those diseases, we're not going to see cycling with ER visits and readmissions into the hospital because they have the ability now to care for themselves.
Interesting. Tell us a little bit more about the Aultman Health Village. Excuse me.
Sure. So, as we're thinking about what to do there, again, we kind of break it into two things, the campus and then the neighborhood. And from the campus perspective, we've been working very closely with the City of Canton and Mayor Burnaby and his team, Don Angus, Dave Meglin, Dan Meglin. We've been working with them. And so some of the areas, Brad, is related to the structures of the streets and how the streets are designed around the hospital. And so we're working through some ideas around that. Secondly is sometime next year we're looking to kick off our new cancer building that we're in the process of putting all the design and development of that together to get that implemented. So that'll be a major addition to the campus by adding that new cancer facility. So that would be another thing. The third thing is that we're looking to, we have a daycare center where we provide daycare for our employees, and we're looking to expand that facility and also make it a wellness center. So that'd be another piece when we talk about phase one. The other thing is we have a number of over 100 residents, medical residents, that come to our campus, to work. And so we're looking at building some housing for them, and also for our college students. We have, over 400 college students now at the Aultman College.
Oh my gosh!
Right,
amazing.
Yeah, and we want to grow outside of the. I just want to drive to school. We want to be able to get the kids that want to come from further south, north, east, or west.
Stay there.
And so we need to have housing for them, and so we're looking at a spot there on the corner of Bedford and Tusk for housing for them, along with some mixed-use space, too, for, whether it's a Starbucks or something like that would appeal to our team members as well as, the residents and the college students. So that's kind of our initial plan.
Okay. What are you going to do with the cars?
So we have, it's a good question.
We're going to put parking meters in our parking lot, maybe,
Yeah. So could we do that?
I don't know. That was one of the suggestions inside the building, because everybody parks there anyway.
Yeah.
So.
Well, actually, Paul, there's enough room there once we move the daycare and clean up the space on the Dartmouth side. And there's a couple other structures that we're looking at potentially removing, and then from there, if you've been down to Easton, they have a nice parking deck there. It's like a 2-level parking deck. So there's some new types of parking decks that you can use versus maybe the older high parking decks that you've seen in the past. So we're kind of thinking around those two modalities to kind of attack the parking issue going forward.
Okay, gang, first break is here. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's MEDSHOPRX.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
It's that time of year again. It's time to protect your family against the flu virus. Hi, this is your pharmacist, Brad White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Flu vaccination should be a priority to you and your family, so take the steps today to protect yourself. Visit any of our Medicine Center pharmacies and get your flu shot. And don't forget to stock up on items to boost your immune system, like probiotics and multivitamins. The Medicine Center pharmacies are conveniently located in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, where wellness begins.
With a heart attack, every second counts. Every moment the blood supply to your heart is cut off or reduced leads to heart damage or death. Mercy Medical Center can stop a heart attack in record time. Mercy is the only hospital in the nation that can open a blocked artery right in the ER just minutes after arrival, saving lives and preventing further heart muscle damage. That's because Mercy's Emergency Chest Pain Center was America's first to achieve full accreditation and the first to install a fully functional cardiac catheterization lab just a few steps away from our ER doors. The average time in the U.S. from ER arrival to opening of a blocked heart artery is 64 minutes. At Mercy, thanks to our ER cath lab and the area's most experienced emergency heart care team, it's faster. We're capable of opening a blocked artery in as little as 5 minutes. If you have heart attack symptoms, get to Mercy. We can stop a heart attack in record time. To learn more, visit cantonmercy.org/heart.
Brighten your day with beautiful stained glass from Studio Arts and Glass. Let the sun shine in through a stunning beveled glass window that forms a rainbow on your walls. Commission a piece of art to cherish for years. All at Studio Arts and Glass on Apple Grove and 77 in North Canton. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, or shop online at studioartsandglass.com. That's studioartsandglass.com.
You won't want to miss this upcoming Kiko Absolute Auction, Saturday, October 27th in Poland, Ohio, with auctioneer Bill Gill Jr. You'll find antique and modern furniture as well as quilts, kitchen items, china, pottery, household items, and antiques, a Cub Cadet, and the auction of a 4-bedroom home. Mark your calendar for Saturday, October 27th, starting at 10:30 a.m., followed by the real estate auction at noon, located at 2915 Palmieri Drive in Poland in Mahoning County. Call Bill Gill Jr. 330-418-8727 or visit KikoAuctions.com for pictures, directions, and more information. Welcome back to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Today we're talking about the Neighborhood Revitalization Project with Aultman Health Foundation's Liz Edmonds and Kevin Pete. Have a question? Post it on our live Facebook feed.
All right. We're having a great discussion this morning. How about, are there any other health systems involved in the neighborhoods in the way that Aultman is reaching out to help?
Absolutely. Actually, there's health systems across the nation reaching out to surrounding neighborhoods, but specifically here in Ohio, we have ProMedica, which is a large nonprofit in Toledo. They've been addressing social determinants for well over 10 years now, and they've actually set up a model for food insecurity, and they had one of the first food pharmacies in place that they put to, I think they launched that in 2015, actually. And it's really like writing a script for medicine. It's writing a script for food, and allows patients to pick up the supply of food, and they can actually have that script for about 6 months before it renews. And it's working well for chronic diseases such as diabetics. So what they found is that they don't either have enough food for the month, or they don't have access to fresh vegetables, fruits, and so forth.
Do you think we're making any headway in this diet? I mean, sometimes when we talk to people, in the store, I went through McDonald's, I got a cheeseburger for myself and one for my dog,
Sure.
There's days when I don't think we're making any headway at all on this.
Well, actually, in Stark County, that's one of our health needs. It's obesity and lack of healthy lifestyle. So it is a concern. A lot of people, resources, health departments, and various nonprofit organizations are addressing that. As a health organization, we are addressing it. We have ambassador program at the high school level to have peer-to-peer coaching with high school students looking at reducing obesity and increasing physical activity. We've become more sedentary. We're not out. We have everything at our fingertips, and so it doesn't promote movement. Also, we have a lot of choices.
I know Liz Heiser, who I think is retired this month. I'm sitting on an advisory board with her. I don't know if they're going to keep me or not. Probably throw me out. But the one real issue that I kind of saw was that the insurance companies were very negligent in dietitian support, and what I kind of got out of the last few meetings was that you practically have to fight with them to get any financial support at all. And I guess I don't really see people changing their game plan, their life plan, unless there's some food support, some dietary support. So
yeah. No, that's a good point, Paul. The one thing that we've done corporately is AultCare, through the work that they do in the physician offices. They've actually embedded dietitians that go in and work with the nurses as well as the dietitian, and they have a team of people. And they've had a lot of success with that. So to your point, the question is, how can we replicate that and do more of that work across the community? Number one. Then number two, maybe have employers expand what they'll cover and pay for as it relates to, those types of treatments and, maybe alternative type treatments and things like that. So I think it's a good point. It's something we need to continue to address.
We have more healthy food in the grocery stores available to us than we've ever had. And we got gluten-free stuff, which 5 years ago didn't even exist. Stuff like that. I mean, when you go down the aisles in the grocery store, and some of the stores have a lot more seafood than they've ever had in the past. They still have monster meat counters out there, and I like a good steak, but you really kind of get to the point where you can't eat that beef all the time.
Right.
And you need some grains, and you need some vegetables, and all that sort of thing. But there's so many people that just aren't thinking about this at all.
And they're disadvantaged.
Yeah.
They may be challenged with income level, and just poor choices of picking those foods or how to,
or
use
what
those.
to pick,
and convenience.
Right.
The other thing is convenience, but. Along those lines, though, Nationwide Children's started an initiative in 2008. Which is called Healthy Neighborhoods, Healthy Families, and they actually targeted 5 areas, looking at affordable housing in their neighborhood, education, health and wellness, safety, and also workforce development. So we actually had the opportunity to do a site visit there this year, and it's pretty impressive what they've been able to do. A lot of dollars coming in through grants to support that, but really putting it to good use. Also encouraging their employees to live locally by providing incentives for housing, home ownership, as well as rentals. So it's really a nice program they have. And then Cleveland, the Greater University Circle Initiative was started, about 14, 15 years ago. And there was 3 anchor institutions in the University Circle: Case Western Reserve University, the Cleveland Clinic, and then University Hospital. And they actually all came together because what they saw is the 7 neighborhoods surrounding them were very blighted and depressed. And it's like, people coming through to these institutions have to go through these neighborhoods, and we need to do more for them. So they really started on the goals of hiring local, buying local, and living local. And it's taken some time, but they're making improvement.
Just as a specific example, the Nationwide, they actually have a grocery store that is run by a church, the church, and they have volunteers that come in, and everyone in the neighborhood can come and get free groceries. And it's all, Paul, to your point, it's all healthy food.
Are we talking about Canton, or are we talking about Columbus?
In Columbus.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Nationwide in Columbus.
Okay.
And it's just really neat. But then they even go a step further because they help people, they teach them how to prepare the food. Because a lot of people don't, they don't know how to, I've got all these vegetables and I have all this, new stuff that I've never eaten before. How do I prepare it? And so they've gone to that next step. And I mean, like Liz said, people come from all over the country to see it, and it is really remarkable. And they are impacting that community.
Now, is that near the Nationwide building down there in Columbus, sir?
It's the Nationwide Children's Hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. Children's
But isn't
Hospital.
that stuff all kind of close together or not? I'm not familiar. I know
like
the nation.
With
I know
Ohio
the nation.
Health.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah, it's a whole complex there.
Yeah, okay.
Big medical complex there.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what is Aultman Health Foundation's role in this plan, this comprehensive plan with the city?
Sure. So when I think about the comprehensive plan, our role is obviously what we've been talking about is what can we do in our area. But then secondly, it's how can we work with the other core asset areas to help them be successful, whether it's, the Hall of Fame, it's downtown Canton, it's the Shoreberry, Mercy Medical Center. How can we all work together to lift everybody up? And we all have to do our part. And so that would be, a second component. The third thing is really, with our 6,500 employees, it's how do we donate our time, talent, and treasure to really make this thing happen. So I'd say those are probably the key components to our involvement.
Okay, right on the break time here. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
We understand the one-size-fits-all approach doesn't always work. We do customized compounded medications based on your doctor's prescription to match your specific needs. Hi, I'm your pharmacist, Brad White, from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Do you use or need customized compounded prescription medications because of allergies, special formulations, or need an easier way to take your medication that isn't available? Many physicians choose to prescribe a medication that is not commercially made and requires a pharmacy like ours with special equipment and training to prepare a capsule, suspension, cream, or tablet. Are you sensitive to lactose, dyes, or need a sugar-free suspension? The Medicine Center Pharmacy is here to help you. Every day we prepare custom medications for infants, adults, and pets in our PCAB accredited compounding lab. Call or stop by the Medicine Center Pharmacy today at 551 West High Avenue in New Philadelphia, where wellness begins.
Have you seen the latest inventory in the Half Off and Out By store in Louisville? 2 new shipments have arrived at the store, and they include everything from EOS body lotions to home decor and lighting. We have a huge selection of fans in several colors, one for every room. Lots of Halloween costumes for babies, little kids, and adults, and Halloween decor. Yes, Halloween is just around the corner. We'll find cots, luggage, household items like blinds, accent furniture pieces, dirt devils, and much, much more. Come see us at the Louisville Half Off and Out By store next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
Brighten your day with beautiful stained glass from Studio Arts and Glass. Let the sun shine in through a stunning beveled glass window that forms a rainbow on your walls. Commission a piece of art to cherish for years. All at Studio Arts and Glass on Apple Grove and 77 in North Canton. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6, or shop online at studioartsandglass.com. That's studioartsandglass.com.
It's that time of year again. It's time to protect your family against the flu virus. Hi, this is your pharmacist, Brad White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Flu vaccination should be a priority to you and your family, so take the steps today to protect yourself. Visit any of our Medicine Center pharmacies and get your flu shot. And don't forget to stock up on items to boost your immune system, like probiotics and multivitamins. The Medicine Center pharmacies are conveniently located in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, where wellness begins.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your host and pharmacist, Paul White. Today we're talking about the Aultman Hospital Campus and surrounding neighborhood transformation. So we have a lot more to cover this morning, so let's get back to the show. So who are Aultman's partners in this project?
Yes, we've been working with team members from the city's administrative team, Don Angus, the planning director, Rollins Seward, the economic developer, and J.R. Rinaldi in compliance. And I have to mention our Ward 3 Councilman, Jason Scaglione, because he has been a huge advocate for this ward and has helped us with many things, and actually even removing barriers, and he's very supportive. So we also have on our team community building partnerships of Stark County, Maureen Austin and her team, Matt and Carolyn. Then Stark Community Foundation, the board members there, and also Marilyn Thomas Jones sits on our team. And, of course, Aultman College representatives. And then we have some of the Aultman administrative team members and also board member Amoel Hussein.
Is there any plans at the Aultman College to expand to other types of health professionals? I mean, I know you're doing some outside training.
Yeah. We just actually have a social worker program now.
Okay.
So we just launched that this year, and I think they have 8 students that are in that program. They have health and science programs, too. So
yes, you can get a health and science degree as well, just a 4-year bachelor's there.
That 4-year, huh?
Yes.
Wow, no kidding. Okay.
And they are
4-year
looking
nursing
at
degree.
expanding into more programs, going forward.
So
absolutely.
that's a BS in nursing. Would that be it?
It's a
Correct.
BSN in nursing, yes.
Yeah, okay.
That's right.
Mhm.
So how many students are graduating?
Well, there's about 400 students in all, take all the programs combined. So, figure about 25% graduate, every year.
Some years ago, the hospitals and medical facilities abandoned the nurse training programs, and now we're back. Is that because you need to fulfill your own needs, or
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that was no free project putting that thing together. So
yeah, no, that's a good point. What's happening across the nation? I think the overall unemployment rate's about 3.7%, but when you look at nursing, it's like 1%.
Oh wow!
And the people that aren't working don't want to work. So there is a true nursing shortage, and Liz can talk about, we go through cycles of this, but we are.
Absolutely. In fact, by 2020, you're going to see a huge shift, of course, with baby boomers retiring and so forth like that. But we have significant recruitment efforts in place this year alone with incentives to recruit talent. And especially in the nursing realm. So we continue that on an ongoing basis. We have programs set up to even retain nurses. And as seasoned nurses, I would like to say, as they continue in the workforce, looking at various opportunities and schedules for them to accommodate that. And I think we do all of that.
Some time ago, when we were in the sterile compounding business and stuff, we saw and experienced a big growth in home care. Where are we at today on that?
That's continuing to grow because as you look at what the government's interested in, it's how do we keep the complex patients in the hospital, but then let everybody else be treated on the outpatient side. And so that points right to home care. And just to give you an example, Paul, of what's possible with home care, there's some systems where people are showing up in the ED and then in the emergency department, and then they're going home with a home care nurse to keep them at home versus admitting them. And so it's just things like that with telemedicine and, those types of things, telemedicine,
community
payment
health workers.
Community health workers, that home care is going to continue to be an area that you get people are home, you're going to get better outcomes, and it's a lower cost opportunity. So you're going to see continued expansion in home care, and we're seeing that as well.
But at the time that started years ago, it wasn't cheaper, as I recall. It was more expensive. Where are we at today?
Oh, it's when you look at the continuum of care. So if you think of home care, then you think skilled nursing, and then maybe you think observation, and then inpatient. It's significantly lower on a cost per day. Okay, significantly lower.
I just thought that at that time I can remember some issues with hospice, that it was so expensive, and now I understand that it's much tighter in how they are able to go to the hospital when not needed. You bring in a home care nurse, or you bring in a home care expert, that sort of thing. So.
Actually, what the government's proposing to do, they're going to have to work this through their channels, but they're proposing to do is say, hospital system X, we're going to give you X amount of money to manage the patient once you discharge them. And so you have to decide, do they go to a skilled nursing facility? Does the patient go home with home care? Do they just go home? And you'll have to really work through that. And so you're really going to see, again, the growth of healthcare, home healthcare, and telemedicine growing to be able to accommodate the new payment systems that are going to come and force providers to be, more cost conscious and find the best outcomes at the lowest cost.
So telemedicine, how is that going?
It's going really well. Some parts of the country, it's going gangbusters, and really, if you look and see where it's really going well, it's where the payers have really aligned with it. We're seeing great outcomes with it. We opened up the Aultman now, and folks can go and you can have a immediate care type visit right from your phone if you'd like to do that. And we're seeing, obviously, the younger generation. That's what they want to do.
That's for us, baby.
Right? Yeah. Maybe not me and you, Paul, but definitely my kids. They're not going to want to go sit and wait for 20 minutes somewhere when they can just dial it up
20
on their
minutes,
phone.
okay. Yeah.
So
I heard one of our staff who did, in fact, call in, whatever, for some ailment that she had, and she was satisfied with it. So,
Great.
So I don't know who she called. This is maybe a month or so ago, but she was satisfied with what I mean. And I see one of the big joints in Cleveland advertising like crazy on cable. We'll get you a prescription. All that kind of stuff. So,
and so along with just like your immediate care visits, we're really using it for stroke care in our hospitals, like in Alliance and Aultman Orville. And we're also, we'll probably see expansion of that around treating, behavioral and psychiatric issues. That works really well with telemedicine. And so we're looking to expand that. So telemedicine is just going to continue to grow because you can connect providers in one location all across a market. And it's very efficient from a time perspective, because one thing that we always battle is when you put a physician in a car, it takes him an hour maybe to go down to Holmes County and then an hour to drive back. We call that dashboard time. And think of how many visits they could have in a 2-hour period if we just had them using telemedicine. And so that's going to continue to grow.
Where do you see the play of the electronic devices? Now I was watching TV last night, and up pops this cardiogram chip, and I didn't notice what phone it was for, but it had
was it doing
two pads.
The EKG? Like
Yeah,
heart?
and I can't. I
think it's the Apple.
You got 12 connections on an EKG, I guess, on your skin, but this only has 4. That any good? Nurse?
I've not had any experience with that.
I think that's the first time I saw it was last night, and that it popped up on a commercial. So I don't know anything about it, but hey, where are we going with electronics here?
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a great point, and that is that we always talk about the healthcare industry is going to get changed by people that aren't in healthcare, right? And you guys know this too, just from the pharmacy business, and so they're coming up with creative ways to engage people in their healthcare. So I think what you're saying to your question, Paul, those areas are going to continue to grow, and we will be, whether it's through our care coordination through our healthcare delivery system or it's through our care coordination through our health plan, we're going to use those monitoring devices, anything that we can do to electronically exchange information and data with the patient or enrollee. We'll continue to grow those and to use those because it'll be very effective. And I think employers and the government will like to see the outcomes that we'll be able to get by doing that.
Well, you see everybody wearing some sort of a watch, a bracelet,
exactly.
A pulse, heart rate, all that sort of thing. And here I'm still in the 70s with my Accutron watch, so I like my watch. So I don't have to change a battery once every 2 years. So, but they obviously, the younger folks are obviously embracing these, and I see a lot of older people too that. In their walk, around the block, looking at their...
Absolutely.
So.
People are obviously very dependent on their mobile devices, and so in order to reach those folks, we're going to have more and more applications for those devices.
Okay, so how long has Aultman been collaborating with the city community on this?
Actually, 2 years. We've been meeting monthly with these team members I identified, and I can tell you it's a shared responsibility. They bring their expertise to the table, and they go back and generate their resources that they need, and it's been good teamwork.
I think that's important, Paul, because where we've seen this be successful in other communities, as well as like when we built the Thrive, when we call it the Thrive Project, but that was around infant mortality, and it's the multiple stakeholders have to be involved. This is not just one place doing it. You have to have multiple stakeholders involved, and we've just been blessed because as Liz said, I mean, everybody is coming to the table on this. It's been phenomenal.
Well, I think you have an excellent administration to work with in the city of Canton. The mayor's a great guy.
Yep.
Yes.
And we've got some really good councilmen. Jason, as we mentioned, he walked me through the demo of some property, and certainly made it a lot easier for me than to have to go and wade through all the administrative offices on where do I get a permit, and how do I do this, and how do I do that, that sort of thing. So
very supportive.
Yeah,
very supportive.
So, good deal. Our third break is here. You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
You're listening to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now by visiting medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. We'll be back with more of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy in just a moment.
Have you seen the latest inventory in the Half Off and Hot Buy store in Louisville? 2 new shipments have arrived at the store, and they include everything from EOS body lotions to home decor and lighting. We have a huge selection of fans in several colors, one for every room. Lots of Halloween costumes for babies, little kids, and adults, and Halloween decor. Yes, Halloween is just around the corner. We'll find cots, luggage, household items like blinds, accent furniture pieces, dirt devils, and much, much more. Come see us at the Louisville Half Off and Hot Buy store next to the Medicine Center Pharmacy.
With a heart attack, every second counts. Every moment the blood supply to your heart is cut off or reduced leads to heart damage or death. Mercy Medical Center can stop a heart attack in record time. Mercy is the only hospital in the nation that can open a blocked artery right in the ER just minutes after arrival, saving lives and preventing further heart muscle damage. That's because Mercy's Emergency Chest Pain Center was America's first to achieve full accreditation and the first to install a fully functional cardiac catheterization lab just a few steps away from our ER doors. The average time in the U.S. from ER arrival to opening of a blocked heart artery is 64 minutes. At Mercy, thanks to our ER cath lab and the area's most experienced emergency heart care team, it's faster. We're capable of opening a blocked artery in as little as 5 minutes. If you have heart attack symptoms, get to Mercy. We can stop a heart attack in record time. To learn more, visit cantonmercy.org/heart.
The warmer weather is here. Hi, this is Brad White from the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Perhaps you've gotten the urge to venture outside and clean up the garage or do some yard work, resulting in muscle aches and pains. If you have sore muscles or aching joints, you may want to consider a prescription pain-relieving cream available with a prescription at the Medicine Center Pharmacy. Our pharmacists can work with you and your physician to get topical pain creams that can be rubbed directly on the source, reducing inflammation and pain. Topical creams avoid troublesome side effects and dependency issues that can be caused by oral medications. The Medicine Center Pharmacy has an accredited compounding laboratory, and it is your source for custom medications. Custom compounded pain-relieving creams, available only at the Medicine Center Pharmacy, where wellness begins. Visit us at medshoprx.com for the pharmacy nearest you. That's medshoprx.com.
Welcome back to Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. I'm your pharmacist, Paul White. Today we're discussing the Revitalization project around Aultman Hospital and the surrounding neighborhood. So let's get back to the show.
Okay, I want to take just a quick second and remind everyone that it's somehow already late October, and if you haven't thought about it yet, we encourage you to stop in the Medicine Center and get your flu vaccine. It is really a good idea that everybody get your flu vaccine. Occasionally we hear some ambivalence and people don't want to get a flu shot because they're worried they're going to get the flu from it. You cannot get the flu from the flu vaccine, okay? If you'd like to talk to one of our pharmacists about the details, we'd be happy to help you, but it is an inactive virus, so it's going to help boost your immune system and build those antibodies and give you that edge for the coming cold and flu season. So don't be afraid to reach out and protect yourself. Last year, I believe, 30-plus million people got the flu. Don't be one of those people, okay? So we're talking about this fantastic project here in the Canton area, and all these ideas are really exciting and promising, and I can't wait to see it all built. But the big question is, how are we going to fund it?
Yeah, that's a great question. And That's partly why we're here today. We wanted to ask the Medicine Shop to support us.
We don't have any money. You guys cut out our dispensing fee, so we don't have any money. Okay.
No, it's a good question, Brad. And what we've learned is there's a lot of different federal, state, and local programs that are available for these types of revitalization. And what we've learned from Nationwide and ProMedica and some of the other folks is there's experts out there that know how to, apply for these funds. Just to give you an example, you look at all the great stuff that like Steve Kuhn's done in here using the different types of grants that he's been able to get. So it's how can we access those grants? And then there's also going to be some private funding. And by private, that would be some investment by Aultman Health Foundation, but then also, investors coming in and maybe building some of the buildings and, leasing the space from Aultman, because that's the one thing that we have is the land. And so it'll be a combination of all those different things that'll make this come to life.
Very good. When will with regard to the campus transformation and the neighborhood revitalization, when do you start to see this starting to take place, and how do you see it evolving?
I think some of it you're already starting to see in the neighborhood with the improvement of the image of housing. I know just from community building partnerships, they've actually offered about 15 different exterior grants to homeowners in the area to fix up their homes, whether that be with painting, siding, new doors, and so forth. And then from the city's perspective, in order to beautify the area, they actually are aggressive with code and compliance violations, and then also releasing funds to help those residents that are eligible for those funds to fix up the homes.
Is Habitat involved in this?
Not at this time in this area that I know of. But
I know they rebuild houses and actually build houses, I guess.
So. Absolutely. I mean, it's a journey. There's houses in that neighborhood that, even though it's blighted in places, there's diamonds in the rough. And as with any journey, just like when we make a behavior change, we don't lose 5 pounds overnight. It's a process, and we put things in place to make that happen. Sometimes it happens right, and sometimes it doesn't, and you switch up your plans. I think from a campus perspective, we really are transitioning to see different transitions onto the campus that is warm and welcoming, more green space, encouraging that healthy living. The biggest thing we'll see there is the cancer center going up for the neighborhood. We also wanted to show impact in the neighborhood for the residents and also for employees at Aultman. So this year we decided to concentrate on one street, which is Forest Avenue Southwest there, and on that street we worked with a local investor, A-List Properties. The manager, Alyssa Fabnick, owns about 30 homes actually in the area that she has completely rehabbed. Owns 4 of them on Forest, and she totally rehabbed those homes and offers them for rent, makes the employees at Aultman a priority if they want them. She also is someone who will work with you for home ownership, and it's been a really nice partnership with her. We also had an open house in July on one of the homes on Forest, so our employees could go through and actually see the home that and how it has been renovated. And we're talking everything from siding to roofing to plumbing, electric, carpeting, new appliances, and so forth. So when you go into that home, there is nothing that you have to be concerned about. And that makes it very nice, less stressful. So I think as it continues with the collaboration with our key stakeholders, it will come to fruition.
We're getting a little tight on time. We got about 2.5 minutes left here, so we want to make sure that we get in this everything else you want to. Our script is we're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we want to make sure we get in at the finish of this show everything that you want to get in. So,
no, I think overall, this really is a community effort, and it's really important to think about the comprehensive plan and each of the core asset areas doing their thing, but also working together and weaving that whole program together to lift the city up together. And that's how, Liz and I are just, the amount of people that are involved in this is phenomenal. And we have regularly scheduled meetings working hard on this, and like you said, Paul, the mayor and his team have just been wonderful to work with, and we're seeing some progress. And if you just want to drive down Forest Avenue, you can get a glimpse of what we're talking about and where we're heading. So,
what are your plans for the church, the Methodist church you bought?
So we've had some discussions around potentially turning that into our daycare center.
Oh, okay.
Right now, the college is using it.
Okay.
But as we go forward, we may turn that into our daycare and wellness center as well. So we're kind of going through the processes now with the architects on that.
I see. Wouldn't that take excessive amount of remodeling, or would you tear it down?
We're looking at both options.
Yeah, okay.
Yep, we're looking at both options. There's some really unique features to the church that we'd like to keep.
That building's in good shape.
It's pretty interesting, and it is in good shape. So we're kind of leaning towards that, but we're still working through those plans.
Okay.
I would like to also mention we started a neighborhood association. Cassie Prater is the president of that, and it's called Aultman Area Neighborhood Association, which is referred to as ANNA. And this is really where things happen, because residents can come together and they really take ownership in changing their environment.
Done. Okay. We're out of time, unfortunately.
Okay.
We never have enough time. Thank you, our guest from Aultman Health Foundation, Liz Edmonds, Doctor of Nursing Practice and Executive Director of Population Health, and Kevin Peet, Chief Strategy Officer. We'd like to remind our listeners, if you suspect you have a medical issue, please contact your healthcare provider. Thanks to Studio Arts and Glass and Kiko Auctions for sponsoring today's program, and of course our technical producer, J.D. DeAngelis. As always, we thank you, our listeners, for joining us on Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. We are a local Health Mart pharmacy, caring for you and about you. Have a healthy week. We'll see you again next Friday right here on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy and your hosts, your pharmacists Paul White and Brad White. Remember, you can get more information right now at medshoprx.com. That's medshop.rx.com. Be sure to join us next Friday at this time for Health Matters with the Medicine Center Pharmacy. The preceding program was sponsored by the Medicine Center Pharmacies.